Okay, what we're going to be talking about today is epigenetics and its effects on people. Now, what epigenetics are is kind of complicated, but pretty much what it is change in gene expression. Now, that change in genetic expression can be caused by a multitude of factors, ranging from, physical abuse all the way to physical activity, and there are a million things in between. But what I'm specifically going to talk about is famine and the epigenetic response to famine, and it being passed down through germline cells. And a hypothesis that goes along with this is the Barker hypothesis of fetal origins of chronic disease in adulthood. And a study that backs up this hypothesis was published by the National Library of Medicine, where they studied the generations after people who survived the siege of Leningrad and the famine that went along with it. And what they found of the generations after is, compared to their control group, they had a higher, hypotonic diseases like higher BMI, high blood pressure, a lower GFR. And the reason that it goes with the hypothesis of epigenetics is that the epigenetic response to pass through the germline cells is, my ancestor couldn't eat, so I'm going to hold on to more food later on in the future, and I'm going to eat more food because I don't want to be in the same position as my ancestor was. So that's why they have higher BMI and everything that goes along with it. Now, this is fascinating not only because it's passed down just through one generation, but it's passed through two different generations, which is fascinating. Now, another thing with epigenetics, even though it's a very new science, it can also be linked to mental health disorders. So if the person goes through physical abuse during childhood, or even separated from their mother, it causes the brain to release methyl groups that can turn off certain genes and gene expressions, causing things like depression and schizophrenia and bipolar disorder and stuff like that. But this is important because with the study of epigenetics, we can learn how to treat those things and diagnose it. And also, going back to the famine and stuff, we can also screen earlier for certain health problems that we might see associated with them because we know that this ancestor went through things. So I think it's a whole new door of science that we need to explore that can help